You're listening to the Super League Pod, coming up on episode 109 of your favourite Rugby League podcast. We've got all your feedback and shout-outs, news from around the world of Rugby League. We'll be looking back at a thrilling weekend's action from Super League, as well as previewing this week's upcoming fixtures. So strap yourselves in. We might even fit in some Sean O'Loughlin. This is the Super League Pod. Okay, hello everyone, welcome to Super League Pod 109. I'm Tom, and as always I'm joined by Mr. Mark Illingworth. How are you, sir?
Alright, Thomas Crook.
How's your... I know, it seems to be me that takes the formal approach on the names. I just like saying Illingworth more than anything else. It makes me feel at home. How's your week been, sir?
Alright, yeah, well, mixed, to be honest. But some good times too.
Anything exciting happening in the...
Well, I met my nephew for the first time. We went last week.
Young Darcy, how's he doing?
Very, very cute. I gave him his Wigan baby grow.
Right.
So I've not had a picture of him wearing it yet, so
fair enough.
I assume that's on its way.
So a lovely picture of him with your mum. She looked very proud and very smiley.
Fair enough.
Yeah?
Yeah, she is. Everyone's happy.
She updated her Facebook, so I saw that picture. So you say it like you should be like you're surprised that I noticed that sort of thing.
No, I'm not.
No,
no.
Mother and baby doing well.
Yeah, everything's going good. The baby is very, very well behaved and
good
from all reports.
Superb.
He was good when we went round.
Have you been inspired to start a family of your own?
Well, Chris did spend a lot of time banging on, that's my brother, about me and Emma having a baby, but it's not going to happen. Then what else did we get up to? We went walking yesterday, Clougher Pike near Lancaster. It was quite good. You could have the views were really good over Lancaster and Morecambe Bay, and sort of thing. So you could see, if you strained your eyes or used binoculars, the hotel where me and Emma got married at. So
I see.
That was nice.
I see.
So good times. What about yourself?
It's been a quiet week, really. I had a works night out on Friday with the lads. So
pints of Prosecco, apparently.
I had a glass of Prosecco, but then when we got there, the company had laid on it's just so salesy, mate. We were in Revolutions in Blackpool, and they'd laid on just whatever booze we wanted. So the guys from behind the bar kept coming over with these big metal bowls full of ice, and there'd be bottles of Grey Goose in it and Jack Daniels, and then there'd be mixers and stuff just brought out every sort of periodically. They kept bringing out drinks, and they're fucking indoor fireworks going off in them and all sorts of stuff. It's not really my speed or my cup of tea, really. So safe to say that with a free bar and all that much available to me, I had quite a thick head on Saturday morning, and it's basically taken me the rest of the weekend to recover. I feel all right now, but I think the hangover, inverted commas, from that is that I've got a bit of I'm struggling to talk because I've got a couple of ulcers on the side of my tongue, so everything I'm having to say I'm enunciating.
Is that because you got the fireworks caught in your mouth or something?
Just over exuberant. No, I'm not sure what it was. I think I'm putting it down to dehydration the following day. But then other than that, it's had a quiet weekend watching the sport. Caught the back end of the Open. Watched Mr. Stenson from Sweden win the Open.
Oh yeah, that was a cracking final round,
tremendous bit of golf. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a massive golf fan, but my old man is, so I went to watch it with him, and even I was impressed by the sporting endeavour on display.
Mastery.
Absolutely. Well, no, that's been about it for me this week. Who's been getting in touch with us, though?
Loads of people, actually. Big feedback and shout-outs this week compared to the last few weeks, which is great to see. Dom Hodgson we'll start with. He said, thanks for the shout-out, guys. The response to the site has been simply amazing. Emails from around the world.
That's brilliant.
That's for small kids who are now on Facebook, Twitter, all of that, as well as smallkids.co.uk for the website. If you've got any things to donate for children born prematurely, or undersized, or small-sized,
little.
Yeah,
there you go. Wonderful. Lee Whitnell.
He said, this is in comment to my talk about TV-free nights. He said, I'm having a TV-free night tonight, trying to get my 4-year-old to sleep. I do this almost every night. I miss TV so much.
Oh, Lee. I'm not going to add on to that. I've got a 4-year-old who every Monday night sleeps through our... Literally, she's probably no more than 15 feet away, and she sleeps like an absolute log. So, sounds mate.
Paul O'Brien said he got in touch about distances between the ground. He's clarified Widnes to Saints is 7.9 miles, but Widnes to Warrington is 7.1. Hull to Hull KR is 6.2, which I already knew was the shortest. Wigan Saints is 9.4. He said he had nothing better to do. So yeah, so it's actually the third closest, not the second closest. So thanks for correcting us.
Like it.
Sean Orton got in touch. Did you see the email he sent us? The entirely pointless endeavour he went to see what the League One table would have looked like if the teams had bonus points this year.
No, I have to say I didn't catch that one.
No, but that isn't in the rundown. It was a tweet he sent.
Well, thanks for getting. Don't let that put anybody else off from getting in touch, though.
All it said is the London Scullers wouldn't have finished in the top 8; they would have finished 9th, basically.
Yeah, but still good for the anyway. All right.
Is Greg Burke's deal classed as a Widnes plus because it's 2.5 years?
It is, yeah. There you go.
Chris Macy, the Medway Bronco, he got in touch. Good stuff as always, guys. Really enjoyed the rant over the good doctor and fully agree that, he should stay and try and work towards changing in a positive manner. Buzzing about the 8s now. He's a London fan, obviously, so
yeah,
they're in the top 2 of there, so extra home game.
Yes. Obviously worth trying at the weekend, saving themselves.
In terms of the good doctor as well, I handed to you when I got here a printout of the...
I'm so excited. I can't wait to read the decision.
The Sporting Resolutions tribunal hearing.
Yeah.
So that's on the internet, freely available for everyone to go and have a read, so go and find that, if you will. Okay, Bob Phillips, he said he managed 1.4 miles during the Lewis Tierney update, he thinks. Rich Langley sent us an email. He said, excellent podcast as always, guys, though I'm not sure if the spin-off podcast you trialled at the start will take off. SL Social Life, SL Rants and SL Wigan Squad Player News are all a bit too niche in my humble opinion. Fair play for trying though. I think that's a couple of people who picked up on the...
Yeah, well, we talked about... We went on at length about a Wigan thing 2 weeks ago and people teased us about it, so we went to great lengths to talk about Lewis Tierney at length to see if anybody took the bait.
Yeah.
And unfortunately a couple of people did.
I think they knew what we were getting at. Dr. Bob tried to drop his own sort of fishing rod out there at the weekend, talking about dogging in the jokey sense. He managed to catch a couple of people he works with, I think. Paul O'Brien sent us a lengthier email. This was a good one. We talked about referees last week and we asked him his sort of views on it, I suppose. He sent us a little bit clarifying the offside from a kick rule.
Yeah, I saw that.
Basically, if the player wasn't playing at it and then the defending player wasn't playing at the ball but it hit him, it wouldn't put the attacking player onside.
Right, there you go.
So that whole KR try probably could have been ruled out that week. Anyway, he says, it's great to see so many new referees coming into the game, but it feels like, due to the standard of refereeing in Super League and the loss of some of our best referees, that the RFL are trying to rush through some of them too quickly. Back in the day when Sky first pumped a lot of money into the game and the clubs got their share, this is when the RFL should have looked to the future of refereeing and used some of this money to build an academy for young referees. Taking the best young referees and developing them to be the top referees of the future. Instead, it was left to local referee societies and the development officers within those societies to encourage young people to take up the whistle and then try to develop them and keep them interested in the game. Over the past 10 years, things have started to improve with development camps and a proper structure for referees starting out. This is starting to show with the crop of young referees officiating in Super League, but we have to be careful not to put too much pressure on these referees and continue to develop and support them whilst continuing to find the best young referees in the lower league who will be the future referees in Super League.
Yeah, that all makes perfect sense to me.
All really sensible stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where was this funding when North West County's Referee of the Year was picking up his gong in 2002? Yeah. That's what I want to know.
Makes you wonder how high, whether or not Paul made the decision to kind of stop where he was and just, not push on.
Possibly, and then family came along and that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
If the age of his daughter is sort of around about the time that maybe dropped out of the refereeing circles. Possibly.
Absolutely. There was some
It'd be interesting to find out.
There was some interesting stuff on the Rookie this week that showed you like the NRL referees training stuff. and the amount of work that goes into doing that, even in like a short 45-second montage of what the lads were doing in terms of the referees training, like having them on treadmills running really quick and then making them call decisions on video
that was the best part of it for me, getting tired and still having to make the decisions. That is really impressive stuff.
And if anyone, that for me, that's a 45-second example of what referees are doing every week on the pitch in front of us. So let's help these guys develop. Absolutely. Right, who's next?
Scott Lister. He also sent us an email. He said, "Hi guys, great show, still not missed one yet. Had some time off this week and was thinking of something to do while my kid is at school. So I thought, if I was in charge of the RFL, what would I do? So here are my ideas." He's given us 4 ideas. First one, rules. I would make all game international rules: Super League, Championship, Championship 1, Challenge Cup and World Club Series. This is something the RLIF could do that won't cost money, and for neutrals coming into the sport won't have to learn different rules for different games. Yeah, I'd throw the NRL into that.
It should just be across the board.
But that's so obvious.
Such a ridiculous thing.
It's crazy that it's not already the situation. TV deal, he says. Competition should be split into different groups, so where broadcasters then compete on which group they want to show. So Group 1 will be Super League, Super 8s, Magic Weekend, Playoffs and Grand Final. Group 2 would be the Challenge Cup, the World Club Series and Internationals. Group 3 would be the Championship, the Summer Bash, the Middle Eights, the £1 Million game.
Which I like I like in principle. Basically, that exists already if you remove the World Club Series
on domestic TV, but I don't think Sky would ever let that go.
If those groups existed now, you would basically have Sky in charge of Group 1 and Group 3 and not doing a right lot with Group 3, and the BBC are Group 2, aren't they?
Yeah.
With the, if they were to obtain the World Club Series.
Unfortunately, we're locked into a deal that's got, 7 years to run once it comes in, which isn't until next year, so... That's the problem with that there. I think maybe some sort of pressure surely can be put on to the broadcaster to either release some of those rights for championship games. It would be beneficial to Sky Sports, you would think, if more games were on television, as long as they weren't allowed to conflict with their rugby league coverage, because it would increase the general interest in rugby league, which would mean then their marquee events that they have, the Super League, the Top 8, the World Club Series, they would get more and more and more and more viewers. So that you would think that would be a no-brainer, but unfortunately that's
not the case. Yeah, absolutely.
Number 3 says, internationals. I would look to how a player can be picked by a country. I would simplify it by only allowing a player to represent the country where he was born or where his parents were born. If all 3 were born in different countries, he can pick any one of the 3, but he can only represent one country in the calendar year.
See, I disagreed with this. I would say that once you've picked, that's your lot. So if you're, for argument's sake, Robbie Farah, and you play for Lebanon in the early part of 2000, Robbie Farah, you're a Lebanese international, son.
No, I think I like the application of a Tier 1 and Tier 2 nation system. I don't like the idea of players playing for more than one island nation.
But do you not think Tier 1, Tier 2 stuff kind of almost hamstrings the development of the game? Because you can sort of have a look at a Semi Radradra playing for Fiji in the last World Cup, and then he can... Why shouldn't Fiji have Semi Radradra of 2000? I don't know, he's not exactly in the best place, maybe not the best example at the minute, but someone who can potentially play as well as Semi Radradra could be doing at the next World Cup.
He's not allowed to go to Fiji at the moment.
No, I know he's not allowed to go to Fiji. What I'm saying is okay, so let's invent another player. Let's call him Eranu Uvavu, right? Eranu Uvavu is born in Samoa, right?
A shooting star on the rugby league team.
Exactly, right? Eranu, at 17 years of age, he's a prop forward. Eranu Uvavu says, I'm going to play for Tonga, whatever, right? I'm going to play for Tonga. And then he spends 4 years, having played in that World Cup for Tonga, developing really well. And Australian Rugby League come knocking and say, hey up, Eranu, do you fancy coming and playing for Australia? All of a sudden, this Tongan lad is plucked from that and allowed to play for Australia. And that's not going to help the development of a stable Tongan rugby league club team nationally. I just think it hamstrings that slightly.
I think the position we need to find would be one between between yours and the current one, and Scott's is midway between, but I think you need to open it up a little bit more than Scott's system does. So I think Scott's probably on the right track compared to your one and done.